What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Knicks episode of the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. And when owes my buddy, my coach, pal, the man with the plan, the one only John Meleka. Before we ask John how he's doing, guys, you know what you got to do. If you listen to this podcast, please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us that 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a comment. We'll read it out loud. It just helps us out. We're also on YouTube now. So make sure to type in Knicks, Jets, etc. period. No one writes out, etc. That's just wild. If you find that page, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And while you're over there, we got winning picks weekly. John, video producer Greg. March Madness, man. They go down this. They went down it all. They did a 2.5-hour podcast to break down every single game, who's going to be in the Final Four, who to take, and they had our guy Chip Murphy on there. So make sure to go check it out, get their takes, and just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy. Even if you already like to just hear their thought process, because guess what? It's already busted, but if you want some good entertainment, some good banter, why the hell not?
I was dead, bro. Michigan lives.
Bro, my bracket's done. My bracket's done.
Already?
My bracket's done. It's over. It's trash. Classic. All right. I threw that thing out in the garbage. I was like, nah, that's not happening. But I'll just watch for the enjoyment. And last and certainly not least, we're on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. John, my main man, how you doing today, bro? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I'm good. You know, fake New York spring is in full effect right now. It's pretending to be nice out during the day and kind of cold sometimes, but things are good. The Knicks are, pretending to be good right now. I'm buying it. I am excited. We are in the hunt. We are fully in the hunt for the next at least 5 days. So end of March is basketball for me. NFL tried to steal the headlines. They're still trying to steal headlines, right? Tom Brady's trying to steal Selection Sunday.
Fuck Tom Brady.
We have Devontae Adams trying to steal March Madness. Everything's
they're also goddamn rude, man. So rude.
So the Jets are doing well. I'm happy about that. The draft is coming up later, but dude, this is basketball season. March Madness in full effect. As you said, winning picks weekly. And now the Knicks, dude. The Knicks are in the hunt. The next 5 games are huge, man. I'm excited, dude. Basketball is real, dude. People are really playing basketball now. All the teams around the league are either completely unwatchable or it's like playoff basketball for these teams right now. So this is it. This is the time.
For everyone out there that doesn't know, John, if the Knicks don't make the playoffs, John will still be happy as long as there's a graphic that just says the Knicks are in the hunt. That's all he wants.
That's how sad it is.
That's all he wants. He just wants them to be in the hunt.
We were like 23 and a half games out, like 2 weeks ago, it feels like.
Oh, man. But I'm not going to hold this guy off on the side any longer. Everyone, you know this man. You know this man very well. He has a very prominent channel, Knicks channel. Does some gaming as well. You know what it is. If you know what I'm about to say, you definitely know his channel. If I say run the intro, our guy, the one and only CK2K, also panelist on Knicks Fan TV as well. One of my colleagues. How you doing, bro? How you feeling today?
What is up, guys? Yeah, man, y'all have me laughing. John, I appreciate the belief, bro. We need you. We need more people like you because it's helping the remaining 13 games a lot more enjoyable.
Let's go.
That's all John does. He tries to bring the optimism. Well, he's a resident optimist out here.
We need it.
Okay. He just turned 30, so he doesn't know how pessimistic you can be as a New York sports fan yet. He doesn't know yet.
Guys, we have sat through Marty Collins and Malik Rose lineups. Like, we're good to go. We're good right now.
Yeah. Man, the other day when they asked who was the starting point guard in 2013, and I had the Tony Douglas flashbacks. I was like,
that was our star, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God. Stop. Was it 13? It was no, it's Dan.
No, that was I think 11. That was 10 and 11.
Yeah, you're right. Where we had it was Tony right before Douglas, we changed the jerseys.
With we also had Raymond Felton, Chauncey Billups, Baron Davis after that. Mon Shumpert tried to run point guard. Jeremy Lin. We've had Raymond Felton again with Jason Kidd.
Shout out to
Jose
my boy
Calderon.
17.
Jose Calderon. Yep.
Ramon
Delve
Sessions.
himself, Jose Calderon. Yep. Ramon Sessions.
Who else did we have?
Jared
Jason
Jack.
Kidd.
Beno Udra.
Oh yes.
Gosh, yeah.
Alexis, was Fed a point guard or
Nah, he was a two.
All right.
Yeah.
Manuel
yeah.
Moutier.
Ish Smith.
Moutier.
Definitely Ish Smith was in there for a couple games. Who was the point guard from the G League that we had back and forth a couple times?
Kadeem
He was
Allen.
Kadeem Allen's one, but there was another guy.
Langston Galloway.
Langston Galloway.
Oh, Langston Galloway, yeah.
I still like him, man. Shout out to
that's
him,
my
bro.
boy.
He's still making a career, man. I
Is.
like him, man.
There's been a lot.
There has been a lot, and none of them have been the one.
We have not found the one. There's been a lot. I guess you could even throw Frank Ntilikina in there, depending on how you felt about him at that time.
Don't even start.
Oh, Frankie.
Everybody. We've had even Elfrid Payton. And now Kemba Walker. So many people.
D Rose.
Derrick Rose. Twice.
Steve Franchise.
Oh, God.
Penny
Everybody.
Hardaway.
Penny
This
Hardaway.
is just depressing because you think about the list of point guards, and we've yet to address this position. And I still will
Chauncey
not forget
Billups.
people. Yeah, I said Billups already. Said
Oh,
Billups.
damn.
We've still not addressed the position. I'm not gonna go on my Brunson tirade. There's an episode about that, so y'all can go back there.
Sure. We better get Brunson.
But yo, CK, it's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute
Yeah,
since
it's
we've had you on the pod, and good timing. We had some news yesterday. We had Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report drop some key points, whether that's expecting Tom Thibodeau to remain the head coach going into next season, whether that's roster turnover that's expected to come, Jalen Brunson being the top target. So maybe Brunson, I know all three of us like Brunson. Hopefully he can be that guy to steady the ship. Not necessarily be the answer, but just steady the goddamn ship. That's all I'm looking for at this point.
Right.
just a captain. That's all I want. I want someone who can hold the wheel and make sure that we don't hit an iceberg. But we got a lot of information out of this article. So let's start off one by one. And let's start off with the hot topic that was buzz Twitter yesterday, and our guy CP just getting attacked out there and going through the gauntlet. Even tried
he had time, bro. He had time.
He legitimately had time yesterday.
Yeah.
Our boy had time yesterday to go through it all, and even took more answers on his post game.
Yeah, he did.
Which is
He
great.
was getting
Respect.
frustrated on his post game.
He was getting tight. He was legitimately getting tight.
I need to check.
You could hear the father voice coming out there, like getting stirred, again upset. He was like, "All right, I'm done with this."
Yeah.
But yo, CK, I'm going to start off with you, bro. How do you feel knowing that Tom Thibodeau was expected to return next season? Did you see it coming? Are you okay with it? What are your overall thoughts about it?
I mean, I feel like when we talked about it like about a month ago, we kind of were talking about it when we were initially starting the whole Fire Tibbs conversation, at least within the panel. When you were on the show with me, Alex, we were talking about it briefly. It was one of those things where I felt like it was definitely it wasn't going to be an easy just fire Tom Thibodeau kind of situation, because we knew, and I said this in one of my videos, we knew that once he was going to start playing those guys, the younger guys, that the production of the team was going to be a lot better, which it has been since. And I think that in itself was going to save his job. So I'm not going to say I entirely thought that he was going to be safe, but I thought that was actually helping his campaign, and it ended up doing it. So now I'm at a point where, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care what those, the people that are defending are going to say. I'm at a point now where it's like, cool, he can come back, but I do not want another season of him and Julius Randle. It's got to be one or the other. It cannot be both. So I'm hoping that something happens in the offseason where there's some kind of shuffle there. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it.
So you're saying so if Tibbs is coming back, you're saying Julius Randle's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this. Why is that?
I don't like the combination of two. I think when he has a fresh new season all over again, everything that has been working and that we've been doing this part of the seaon, all of a sudden our pace is up, all of a sudden our shot attempts are, all of a sudden our ball movement, our assists are up right now. You know what I mean? That has a lot to do with the shuffling rotations, a lot to do with, playing through everybody and not just having Julius Randle pound the ball and try and be, 2021 Julius Randle. And I'm afraid that when we have a new calendar, Tom Thibodeau is just going to fall back into his old habits. And I feel like that's warranted because we've seen that at every stop he's gone to, where it's like, there's always, you can ask Bulls fans when they're asking and they're looking for some sort of shift, he goes right back into what he is accustomed to doing. Hell, ask Timberwolves fans. They had a young core and a young unit of guys. Everyone got traded away so he can play the Bulls one more time. We can get the band back together kind of situation. So I just worry that, with Julius Randle and him together, I think everything that we see that can be hopeful for us next year that we can hopefully build around in the off season, I feel like all that's going to go out the window when we start a new season if Julius Randle's still on the roster with them. Hell, remember we talked about the beginning of this season. We were talking about, they're going to play with pace. They're going to play fast. They're going to take, what do you say? You wanted 31, 34 3-point shots a game. Yep. Like all kinds of those things were going on. Yep. And then it lasted about a week and then we were slow as hell. And I don't want another season of the both of them. Give me one or the other. And I feel like I know I'm not going to get my wish, but that's where I'm at right now. So that's my new campaign.
Okay, John, your eyes lit up, man, when CK said that, because you're like, Julius, because we got John as like the resident Julius Randle defender.
Respect. We need him.
So, yeah, but like not out of like really, I didn't really have to try hard. It's just like what I see on the court. It just drove me nuts how, I mean, it's one thing to, wanting to get traded and hate what we saw 2 years ago in that offseason and then switch back and be like, all right, we were wrong. Look, we know he showed us what he can do night after night with this roster, right? With this coach who won coach of the year. And then literally like starting like game 22, it was like, all right, like time to fire the coach, time to trade the player. And like, then we wonder why our organization sucks. And then we just blame the owner. And it's just like this, circle of life that I don't think is necessary to go through. I don't think Julius Randle sucks. What I think the Julius Randle problem and the Knicks problem is the same problem that the Minnesota Timberwolves had with Tibbs. And honestly, it's the same roadblock that the Bulls ran into. And I've said it 1,000 times, and to me, it's the most obvious thing about Tibbs. He does not run an offense. The only times he was able to be good with the Bulls is when D Rose was just unbelievable with the Rock, right? And he didn't have to do anything, but he has defensive sets, quote unquote sets, right? Because it's not really plays, but his specialty is the defense. Yeah. The biggest knock I have for Tibbs this year is the defense sucked. And that's an issue. Also, like, you really can't adjust your offense, man. Like, of course that's going to tick me off, but that's not why I want to fire him. If someone wants to really be upset with him, it has to be for his defense. The whole, like, he doesn't start rookies thing is just insane because IQ, Obi, Grimes, all these players are rookies, guys. Like what do you got? Was it RJ's 21? Like, all these guys are small guys in stature. It makes sense for me to want to play somebody like Randle. But the issue, man, is he doesn't have a point guard. The only times he was good last year is when D Rose was able to be there and play those 25 minutes, and we would cry, oh, he should play 22 and a half minutes, not 25.6. You know what I'm saying? He should have sat because we were up by 12. Like, all that stuff. Remember that was the argument, because D Rose was the only point guard that we had, or the resemblance of a point guard. And you guys just listed 1,000 that stunk, right? You guys literally just listed 1,000,000 of them. And, it goes back to my Alex's quick brief mention of Jalen Brunson. And people yelling about Tyus Jones this week, like, no, I'd rather have Tyus Jones for like $4.5 million cheaper. Like, no. What is everybody talking about? No. Like, if you're watching Jalen Brunson yesterday versus the Brooklyn Nets, hey, everyone's like, oh my God, why would you want a guard? They brought in Spencer Dinwiddie because Jalen Brunson sucks. Dude, the last like 6 minutes of the game was all Jalen Brunson, and the lineup was Dinwiddie, Doncic, and Brunson. Like, that's how good he is. They made Dinwiddie play small forward. So I don't know. He was KD was on him that whole game, honestly, towards the end of the fourth. and he was making him dance, dude. If somebody like Brunson can come in and be the point guard for, I don't know, 30 minutes and let RJ cook with Randle, you put a center in there, like we'll talk about who the center is going to be. Because
you're going, let's say Brunson for later.
Because I want Randle. That's what I'm saying. I want if you get a point guard, Randle works. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's fine with me. Like Randle works with Tibbs. Tibbs and Randle is not the issue for me. It's the point guard. So if you have Randle, RJ, and Brunson, that's gonna work, dude. Like that's gonna be a defensive team that works on and flows on offense. You probably just have to trade that center, right? And I don't know if I'm gonna yell at for that, but that's the only problem.
Yeah, I hear you. The sign and trade with Mitch getting Brunson, which, you know, Mavs want Mitch and we want Brunson. I feel like that's the deal that's coming down the pipeline. But I don't know. When I look at Tibbs, like I'm not shocked he's be coming back. I mean, John and I, you and I have been like preaching that he's not going anywhere. He's going to be sticking around for next season. And it's like obviously, there's still some games left. We got 13 games left. Anything can happen in those 13 games, right? And he could be fired. But it looks like he's gonna be around for another season. Just one, out of continuity. Two, you can't blame the entire season on him. I always say, I look at the front office that if you know you have a defensive coach, a guy that predicates his entire success around defense first, then offense second, you can't give him two perimeter players in Kemba and Fournier and say, hey, we gave you two guys that don't really play defense, and I know you need someone that defends the point of attack, but figure it out. It just doesn't sound like it makes a good system. But yeah. I think that I get the whole. See, I get your whole Randle probably needs to go to another team. I can see that, but I honestly don't think that's happening. I feel like even though he's been playing well at the end of this season, I feel like his value isn't where it needs to be to have like an actual trade that fully works out. And I also don't know how Obi's going to be next season too, because I still think that Randle's not going to be with this team long term. I still think Randle's going to be moved at some point in the future. But I think that all is predicated on how much Obi develops to be a power forward. So like CK, like if it seems like we're getting Tibbs back, what are you doing with Randle? Like, give us like, do you have like a trade idea? Like, how are you going to put him out there? Like, where he's going? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a question. You know, and that's the thing, and it's more of a want than a prediction. It's not me thinking that because he's coming back, then that means that to give Randle. I just, and you know, whenever I talk so aggressively about Julius Randle, I do sound like I'm such a hater, and I understand.
I know you're not a hater.
It's just, yeah, I'm really critical because if he's going to be our all-star guy and he gets paid like it, I'm going to have to treat him like that. And when you're seeing a lot of plays where the effort isn't there, especially like, you know, you were just saying, like for the beginning part of the season, it's just frustrating, especially when you're playing at home. And there's a lot of those things that, you know, when you just got all-star, all these things, we were, you know, praising you and all that kind of thing. And then, you know, he has the season that he had this year. It's just, you know, you're expecting more from him. And I said in my video more so of him getting traded, it's not even you know, I want him the hell out of my town, off my team. Is I just don't know if he is built for New York. I genuinely just don't know. So it's just that's my thought. So I just worry for PTSD reasons that if we have Julius Randle on this roster next season with Tom Thibodeau, I feel like a lot of things that went well for us or is going well for us right now, it's going to unfortunately go out the window. We're going to see a lot more of what happened in the beginning of the season rather than this part. But I would love to be wrong. I would like to be wrong in that instance. But as far as like a trade, I don't have one specifically just yet because you're right. I feel like the trade value is not where it's at. I do believe it is a lot better because I think, you know, this stretch of games, like I could say what I want to say. Julius Randle's stats have been crazy. Yes, he's had some headaches in some instances if you actually watch the game towards the end of the game. But statistically and what he can do, the dude is insane. I still question the whole him and RJ Barrett working together. I'm sorry, I can't shake that. Because what they probably like had a handful in 3 seasons of good games together at the same time. So that's always something that bothers me. And I feel like RJ Barrett's definitely taking that chain, making that turn. So I want to see him be the guy that handles the ball or gets the majority of the shots more in coming seasons. And can Julius Randle be okay being that too? Because if he can, then everything John said is 100% correct. You get us a point guard, you get us a filler center, because it's probably not going to be Mitch. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think that Mitch Robinson comes back around, because he can get paid, and he should get paid, because we fleeced him to even be a Knick for as long as he's been a Knick. So yeah, if Julius Randle is okay playing that, knowing that you can get yours, but playing that number 2 to RJ Barrett, and he's cool with that, then I'm 100% on board with him running it. I don't know if he's gonna be long term, like you said. It's just, like I said, it's just, what have you shown me? And in the 3 seasons I've seen, I feel like we've seen who Julius Randle is, and I don't know. I get worried. So that's where I'm coming from when it comes to Julius Randle. As far as any deal, I don't have a deal yet, but I will have one for you before the season ends. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
I'll be watching out for that video.
I'll figure it out.
You can also tag me when you drop that one. But here's the thing, like, you talking about RJ and Randle not having like a lot of games together with success, right? Couldn't that just be that we know, like, first year RJ was a rookie, was still getting his feet wet. We got the reports that they didn't have a development staff. He was working on a shot to have different mechanics, and then New York Knicks came in here and said, no, we want you to shoot this way. We want you to shoot the traditional way. And then Drew Hannon was like, well, his body's not actually built to be shooting that way. So why are you forcing this kid to shoot a way that he's not supposed to be? Second year, new coach, new system, hasn't really fully developed yet. I mean, we're talking about a 20-year-old last season. His game hasn't fully transferred to the NBA yet. And now we're starting to see it this season, where he's starting to fully transfer into what he is. And I wouldn't necessarily have had RJ run the offense last year just because he was a limited player. But now we're seeing that he has more to his game. He's able to drive. He's able to finish through contact. He's able to dish while he's moving in transition instead of having the blinders on. You're also seeing that he's finding even Julius Randle when he's in that transition as well. He's shooting pretty well from behind the arc. He's averaging 24 points. I said on a post game recently that since January 1st, RJ has been averaging about 24 points per game, and having 6 rebounds. I think he's been averaging like 3 to 4 assists around that time too. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but looking at that and seeing that what he's able to do, and then having the stretches of games that Randle is having, like, sure, they haven't always been there together, but couldn't you say give it one more season and then maybe those two can work, and then we can make that determination during next season? Hey, if we get a good deal and Randall's playing well, you can move off of him then and just give him that kind of leeway? Or are you just still so worried that Tom Thibodeau is going to look at this and say, hey, we're still not going to run the offense through RJ Barrett, which he should be doing, and we're going to run this offense through Julius Randle and have as a point forward, which he should not be doing? Is that the big concern that you're worried about? That's the
big concern right there. Yeah, that's the big concern. Because like I said, I think I've always been in favor that I thought it could work with Julius and RJ Barrett. It just hasn't worked. And I think you bring up a lot of good points. But I feel like a lot of it has to do where it's been Tibbs' crutch to, when all else fails, like, yes, the game can go one way quarter 1 through 3, but when all else fails, put the ball in the hands of Julius Randle, whether it might not be that time to do that. And I feel like that is going to be the majority of what comes back next season. I like I said, man, I could be wrong, but it's the PTSD in me that is just like, I don't know if I can do this for
Knicks
another
PTSD,
season.
bro.
Yes, that's genuinely what it is, because I just feel like when we play the way these last few weeks of Knicks basketball have been so frustrating for me. And I know people were mad because of tanking and blah. Shut up. What's been frustrating for me is because I feel like this could have been how we've been looking all season long. And because of my main beef with Tom Thibodeau, yes, the offense is a big thing, but my main beef with Tom Thibodeau is if he had just played the guys that should be playing rather than playing veterans because they've been in the league longer, and just run the guys. Like Taj Gibson should not have been playing in a stretch of games 24 minutes while Jericho Sims is not on the bench. I'm not saying Jericho Sims is going to be the next coming center for us. He might be, but the point of the matter is we got Taj Gibson out there playing those minutes and giving you 2-3 points and maybe about 4 rebounds. So he's not really producing much. Yes, defensively, there's been some instances where he was good for us, but I feel like there's just so many rotations that he was just so afraid to run. I'm still not a fan of Alec Burks playing point guard, and people are jumping out the window saying Alec Burks is bad. I just don't think he's playing his role well. When he is playing off ball, Alec Burks looks like last year Alec Burks, and I think that's just been the big thing. So I feel like why are we Alec Burks could be giving us more, and we're just putting him in a position that's not getting the best version of Alec Burks. So I just that's the part that's really really scary for me is I'm just afraid that he was forced into a situation which he is in right now where he has to play these younger guys, and it's worked. And I feel like then he's going to go back. We're going to get a whole new regime of players and whoever he gets in the offseason and goes right back to, all right, we tried it. Now we're going back to my way. We're going to do it. I'm just worried about that coming. And that's just my genuine fear. So yes, maybe I'm trying to save Julius Randle by getting him traded more so than, anything else. Cause I just feel like he's just going to go back and revert back to what he's done. Cause that's been his MO from Chicago to Minnesota. I just feel like that's just what's going to happen next year.
Okay. I mean, I think my thing for like all of that is that I still give it another shot. Like I still want to see, because I don't know, it's just been this entire season has just not gone the way that anyone would say. Like if you told me at the beginning of the season that, well, let me take that step back. We brought everyone back to run it back because we made the playoffs, right? We had that whole thing like, oh, we didn't have enough shot creation. The starting lineup was bringing Kemba, Evan Fournier, because these guys are shot creators. They can handle the ball. They got some playmaking chops to them. Let's do all that.
Can I pause you right there? Can I pause you right at that point? Because I'm gonna branch off of that, what you just said.
Sure.
Off season, are you signing Evan Fournier for that much money? Can we start right there? With everything as a front office, as you are running this team, with who your head coach is, with what is needed in your offense, with everything that we had, are you signing Evan Fournier for that money? And this is not a slight at Evan Fournier; it's just a genuine, honest question.
I think I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the answer that you probably won't like, but the answer is at that time I probably still would have gone to it, even though I don't like the price point for it, because I didn't know Kemba was available yet. If I had known Kemba was available first, I probably would have gone Kemba.
Cheaper Kemba Walker.
I would have gone Kemba first, and then be like, all right, we cannot do Evan Fournier. I don't like, even though there's been reports that Tibbs was pushing for Fournier. And if that's the case, then we should have gone a different direction in point guard, even though there was not really another viable point guard option out there. So that's where it's kind of like this whole free agency class. Like I remember doing all the for each position. Like for point guard, we want Alonzo Ball. You were leading the charts for Alonzo Ball. Didn't get him. I wish we did get him. He was not there. I wanted Campaign. That's another guy I wanted. He went back to Phoenix. Kyle Lowry, deal was done with, or was already done with Miami. Mike Conley returned to Utah. Okay. I wanted Reggie Jackson. He went back to LA. Outside of those five guys, there was not another point guard that we wanted. So then when you get Kemba, you're like, all right, fine. That's a good consolation prize. That's a 6 guy. Not really thinking about it. Came out of nowhere. And then when I did the stuff for shooting guards, like I had, who was it? I mean, I really want Kerry Trent Jr., but I knew he wasn't gonna. I knew he wasn't gonna leave. Norman Powell was at the top of that list.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier was 3rd, and I just did it because like I have all the other guys. I know people were getting on me like I didn't have DeRozan in the top 5, but I just didn't think that.
Oh, you didn't have him? Okay.
I just didn't think. My thing is like I knew DeRozan is a good player. I didn't think the fit would work. If you want to feature RJ and Randall, I don't think you can have another a third ball dominant guy, and that's why I didn't put him up there. I think if you told me removing one of those guys, then I could say that's fine. But I didn't see it, so I didn't have him up there.
I just wanted him for the 4th quarter. That's genuinely the only reason why I had DeMar DeRozan. Being honest, like we can say what we say now because of the season he's having, but in the off-season time, my general thought was just like we never have a guy that can just win us the game. And I knew DeMar, and we all know that's what DeMar DeRozan has been doing. So I wanted that. But like I said, you're right, because before that might not have worked. RJ Barrett, him, and like there's so many anomalies that might not have worked. I just knew we needed a guy in the 4th quarter because we didn't have it.
Yeah, and so like looking at that, and who was the other guy that I had? Because I know I had DeRozan out there. Josh Hart was someone on the list that I did like. Bryn Forbes, Malik Monk. That was the other guy that I liked.
Oh yeah, man.
So if like Malik Monk was my second option. That's the guy who honestly. If we didn't, that was someone I was really like honing in on. I know he was like undersized, but he's lightning in a bottle. Like I had Malik Monk and Norman Powell over Evan Fournier. I had Bryn Forbes on that list and Josh Hart, but both of them were like too drastic. Like Bryn Forbes is just a strict shooter, nothing else. And then Josh Hart, who I do like, is very good defensively. Offense is kind of shaky. So I was like, with Fournier, he's kind of like a more well-rounded player. So yeah, I would have taken him, not because I really like him, but out of the guys that were available, like I thought he was more
Worth a deal.
Yeah, worth the deal. But the money wise, probably not. But even though it's what 4 over 72, 74 mil, it's really like 3 over 52, 56. So because that last year's a team option.
Mm-hmm.
So the long-winded answer is yes, I'd probably still go that route just because the options that we had were limited. Like you could talk about Will Barton. I don't think he was going to leave. I don't think you want to take the chance on Justice Winslow either. Like guys like that. So there was not really anyone out there. So yeah, I would have probably done it. And when you going back to what I was saying, like if you told me that you have all these guys coming in and you're expecting to be better, you got your second unit again, and you're Tom Thibodeau entering the season saying, all right, this is it. I know I can rely on the second unit, and they were gelling. They were like they were last season. They didn't miss a beat. We knew that first unit just sucked because it was just the Julius Randle show where everyone else was just out on the perimeter, and that's not really their games. Did they adjust? No. But like if you said like this is the rotation that we're working with, I'm like, yeah, you gotta give them a shot, especially the contracts that they got, the name value to them, the politics that go with it. But then as the season goes on, do I want those guys to come in? Yeah, I do. Like I do want them, but I could see like why he leaned on them because he's trying to win games after a season that we had last season. He's trying to build on top of that. I get.
I also think things would have been a little bit different if we knew what we had in Grimes. Like if we knew what Grimes was now in the offseason, I don't think we would have got someone like Fournier. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have spent 17 mil on a shooting guard that only plays one side of the ball. You know what I mean? If we knew what Grimes was. So I think that's more where the buyer's remorse is, more than the fact that he's been slacking, because at the end of the day, I mean, he is going to break the 3-point record for the Knicks, right? And we're going to have to live with Evan Fournier having more threes than John Starks. And it's just, and in a year that we might not even make the play-in game. Like, we're not even in 10th place.
That's gross.
So, like,
I laugh at it.
Can we put an asterisk next to that? Like, no. Just stop.
Unfortunately not.
Tibbs, save the Knicks record and pull this man. Grimes is coming back apparently Friday. Apparently he's going to be good to go Friday. Please pull this man. Do not let this man beat John Starks. That's not right.
He's going to do it.
He's definitely going to do it. He's going to bounce back step 3 for the next 13 games.
I hate it, man. Right in our face. Can he just take a regular jumper too? Like, what is wrong with just doing a regular jumper?
No.
He'll miss it.
I love him in the first quarter, though. I'll never say a bad thing about first quarter Evan Fournier. That man is always starts off on fire.
Yeah, man.
And dude, he's in his bag. The opener. He is in his bag. Yeah, and dude, I'll never forget the opener. Celtics.
Yeah,
I mean, he killed it. That was right in front of my eyes, dude. He went on the Celtics. That sparked the whole video outside. We had a party out there. Yeah, man, that feels like 6 centuries ago.
That's right. that was this year.
Yeah. That was 40 clips. That was all because of Fournier, bro.
All because of Fournier. You're right. I don't know. I just was. I was never crazy about it. I don't know, man. Like, and I get it because everybody. I was asking everybody to 19 points per game. He was 20 point, like all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just was worried about the defensive side. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. But hey, like you say, he's about to break the 2-point record. And the thing is, now, like, he's definitely warmed up to me. I just don't want him starting. I don't want him as our starter. Yeah. That's just I don't know. The Knicks. I'm just so worried about what's gonna happen next year, bro. Because what we're seeing right now has been fun. Like, it sucks the Cam Reddish injury. Sucks that will Grimes be back Friday. Like, some key guys missing. But what we're seeing right now, like this. This is what we are all hoping to see all season long. Mind you, I get it. Like, a lot of them are anomalies. We weren't sure how these guys were going to play and bobbity. But it's just like this version of the Knicks that we're seeing right now. It's fun. And, even if it results in, sorry, John, us not making the play-in, at least we can end the season off better than where it started, the nightmare that was started. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a hard time getting out of that because they're too busy locked up in their tanks. I understand. But, this gives you some sort of hope on how we can now build for the next season with, RJ, flourishing, and we got some young guys that can be something, we'll see. But I just have been very frustrated because I feel like we could have been like this a little bit sooner, but that's just my opinion.
No, that's fair.
I'm just so happy how we played since the All-Star game. Like nothing can bring me down.
Right.
And just this one point before you go, Alex, is like, okay, say we make the 10th spot. Like we still have to win 2 games in order to not be in the lottery. Like, are we really that confident? Like
Oh, hell no.
Even if we make this play in, we still got to win 2 games. It's okay to root for wins. Everyone is insane.
I love that.
Everyone drives me nuts, man. Everyone drives me nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Let's fire the coach. Let's trade our most improved player from last year, and let's tank so we can get like a couple percentages on our lottery. Like, shut up. Like
John's laying the law right here. But CK, you talked about what you wanted to see like next season. That's a very good transition. I can tell you're a professional on the mic, because that is the next topic. We got offseason moves that were talked about in the Jake Fisher article, and also Michael Scotto dropped an article last week in a podcast where he had Stephen Bondi of the Daily News on it. And that's Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype. They're talking about, both of them discussed that there's going to be some offseason moves impending, right? And we'd have to think that it's the usual suspects of Nerlens Noel, who got a contract that is just aging like milk. We have Evan Fournier. Huh?
Who's that?
Oh, I don't even know who that guy is. That guy only played 20 some odd games. I have no idea who that man is. We also got Evan Fournier. That contract is aging like a banana. But don't worry. We also have Alec Burks, whose contract is actually really good. I think he's valuable. He's actually a valuable contract. There's also Derek. I don't think Derrick Rose is going to be moved, but he's another one that you have a contract that, is going to be expiring next season. And if a competitive team like the Clippers needs somebody, but I don't see Derrick Rose because that's Tibbs' guy. That's well,
Derrick Rose, like the way he talks about it in his interviews, he's like, he doesn't even watch basketball anymore. He's just in it for Tibbs and like the Knicks, and he just like likes being in New York. Like he's not going anywhere, man.
For sure. Yeah.
So then we know about those. We know about those contracts that are
Kemba. Kemba's a nice expiring.
Kemba, thank you. That's the last one. Kemba's the last contract. So these are the guys who the Knicks are probably looking to move this off season. Who do you think is going to be most likely to move, man? Like, who do you think, whether that's a deal that you have on your mind, who do you think is a contract that's most likely to get moved? What are your thoughts, CK?
Me? Oh, most likely not who I want. Okay, so those are 2 separate things. Yeah, I
the guys I just listed. Who do you think?
No, for sure. Yeah, most likely. Man, I know we want Nerlens to go. I just don't think who's trading for that.
And Fournier.
My favorite one is people think that Dallas is going to take Nerlens Noel back in a deal for Brunson. That's not
suing.
I saw that.
He's literally suing them.
No, that's not happening.
It's not gonna happen.
I think we're unfortunately gonna have Nerlens on our books for another season. I think we're getting rid of him. You name all those names, and I'm with you on the Alec Burks one. Like, he hasn't been great for us, but again, I strictly believe it's because he's out of position. I don't think it has anything to do with him falling off. I think Alec Burks, for that contract, I like him with us, but I think he might be, as they said in the rumors at the trade deadline, he might be a sweetener on a deal, whatever deal that they come up with for whatever it is, whether it's a draft pick or some add on for our team. I think he might be a sweetener for it. But of those guys, the only name that I can say with confidence is probably going to be Kemba Walker. I think that's the only one. To who, for what, I don't know. I think Kemba Walker at this point might be taking that Carmelo Anthony step and going somewhere where he can just be a solid point guard for 16, 18 minutes off of the bench on a competitive team. I think that's what's going to end up happening. So it might be like a small trade, but I just don't see. I mean, prove what's wrong with Scott Perry and those guys. But who is buying Nerlens Noel's contract? Who's taking Evan Fournier's contract? Like, I'm sure Evan Fournier probably would be wanted. It's just not for that much money.
You know who take the Nerlens Noel's contract? The Los Angeles Lakers.
The Lakers.
If we take Westbrook back.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you're right. No,
if someone's telling me that you can we're gonna get Nerlens Noel and somehow we're getting whoever in a deal for Westbrook, I will say far away from that.
Time out. But isn't this would be his last year, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a lot. I get it. It's like 50 million. How much is it?
you want to see the development of the young kids. I do not need a guy whose usage rate is like in the high 30s.
Yeah,
You want to
you're
talk about
right.
pounding the shit out of the rock.
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
there's a look, man. If LeBron can't even help Russell Westbrook win a title,
nah.
let that be known.
Last thing we need to see is bricks off of a backboard in the Knicks jersey. You're right. I apologize. Just a thought. Just a thought.
No, I do agree with your sentiment though. For some reason, it feels like Fournier on a 2-year, 17 mil per.
Yeah.
With the stats in the offseason is gonna look good to some teams.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's gonna look that crazy.
Yeah.
Because you forget, you know what I'm saying? You forget what the Knicks looked like in the first half of the season. You'll be thinking about the second half Knicks. You'll be looking at Fournier stuff. I don't know. That's one guy, but I definitely agree with your Burks thing. I mean, how can we say that we're going to trade Burks if you see that he's playing every single position 1 through 5 for Tibbs, and we're crying because he's putting him in?
He said 1 through
5. Might as well, right? He's had to play 4 at one point this season, so I'm gonna add the 5 in there too. Yeah,
I actually think he did play the 4 at one point.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure.
I think he actually did. The 5 though is what's killing me.
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable, man. So obviously, like I don't see him going anywhere. Unless I mean the rumor for Donovan Mitchell, there's so much smoke. There's so much smoke.
Me, man.
I know you don't like it.
Don't do this to us.
Okay, here's the thing.
You're really gonna do this to us, aren't you?
Don't do it, man.
You're really about to lift up my dreams.
I'm just gonna say that he is if the Jazz lose early in the playoffs,
right?
Gobert's not going anywhere. Mitchell's gonna be.
You want to talk about contract that you're not? I would never trade for
exactly.
Rudy Gobert. There's no way in hell that I'm trading for a $200 million center.
Leon Rose loves Donovan Mitchell. If we're gonna have to get rid of IQ, that's gonna start the conversation. Then you could throw in a Fournier, then you could throw in a Burks, and
Obi.
you know if the Obi, you know, or if it depends if they want Randle or not. You know what I mean? Then I can see all these guys getting traded. But if you're talking about just like an individual small piece basis, I agree with you, man. Burks is staying. Noel's gonna stay. No one's taking that contract. But Kemba, of course, you'll get something for him. But Fournier, I'm gonna push back on you. I do think on paper, like breaking records for the Knicks that have never been broken in a season that they sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna point to how bad the Knicks are and be like, "But look how good I was still." He's gonna be like,
"That's them. This is
yeah,
me."
Exactly. Exactly. That's what he's gonna do if he's trying to get traded, in my opinion.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no, I can see Fournier getting moved. I mean, someone's gonna look at him and be like, not bad shooting. I mean,
I need a
Fournier,
threes. like the Sixers.
Fournier would be good.
The Sixers he would be perfect.
Oh, that'd be good.
There's a lot of places he'd fit perfectly for. It's just I don't know what their books are looking like.
Honestly, like he would work here if like you had him coming off the bench as like a 6th, 7th man.
Right.
Like if he's a 6th, 7th man, that's a lethal.
Yes.
That's a lethal 6th, 7th man just coming out.
He'd be good in Brooklyn.
I could see him going to Brooklyn and
that's what I'm saying.
Even though KD, you know, was like this. Some hair jokes. There's some hair jokes.
First of all, he talked trash to him in French. Kudos to KD. I'm sorry, that was a Knicks pod, but yo,
I don't know what you said.
Wait,
you're gonna go memorize.
KD spoke to Fournier in French.
Yeah, dude. He had to study before that game.
KD. I didn't know that part. Oh,
yeah. Snap. He said you're small in French. Apparently, that's
wow.
He had to study before the game, bro.
That is hilarious.
That has to be for the joke that KD had, that Evan Fournier had for KD about a barber and stuff like that, which that was cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Yeah, but if Fournier puts on a Nets jersey, you know we become the Celtics, right? 4 times in a year, he gonna be averaging 35 points per game because he gonna be doing that to us.
Oh yeah,
and then that's
he was doing that. He was doing that to us when he was in the Magic jersey.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? How soon I forget? Yeah, man.
That's why we signed him, bro. Terrence Ross.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, we need Ross too.
By the way,
because he killed us too all the time.
By the way, going back to everyone watched Brunson like crap, like shit the bed against us, and then everyone's like, "Let's give Fournier. He's been killing it." Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio's coming. Right?
yeah.
Anyone who kills us.
Sniper.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Cam Johnson's going to be the next savior, right? Because he just
Oh
put a
my
38
God.
on us.
Come on, man. So back to the Donovan Mitchell thing real quick. Is there a world where we make that move without moving RJ Barrett, though?
Yeah, I think RJ's untradeable, but I don't know if you can move. I think it would be hard to move Randle without without that. But I don't know, man. Everyone's freaking out about this draft pick. If you do the draft pick, this year's,
Right.
Top whatever, we have a second, and then next year's whatever with IQ and Obi and the guys.
That's
it's not going to be a Melo trade, in my opinion. It's going to be.
Oh hell no. No. I don't think so.
You're going to keep RJ. You're going to keep Randle.
Yeah,
that's going to be the caveat.
Yeah,
you have to.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean the difference between that trade or this potential trade and Mo is that we didn't have really any youth. We gave up all the youth.
We gave it all up. Yeah, that's the big difference. Yep.
If that's the trade you're talking about, but let's move on to the next topic because look, we're talking about draft picks. There's not this position that we keep talking about that we just listed off in the beginning of this pod where we had, I don't even know how many goddamn names, like maybe like 15, 20, somewhere around there. Point guard. Once again, in this article by Jake Fisher, huh?
What's a point guard? What's that?
I don't even know what that is.
Never heard of
Alec Burks.
Alec Burks, that is a point guard apparently. Julius Randle, that is a point forward. Anything for Tom Thibodeau at this point, anyone's a point guard. Shit, all three of us could be a point guard.
How many assists did he have last game? Like 7?
I think he did.
Killing it.
Those are always easy. Everyone would go. It's funny when people like look at assists and it's like, all right, what type of reads were they? You know what I mean? Did he organize the offense, or are we talking about quick reads where it's just like a pass and someone just knocked down the goddamn shot?
Yeah,
Did you just drive and do the
pass?
It's like Russell
pass on a double.
It's like Russell Westbrook's passes, right? It's like, oh, let me just drive in real quick, kick it out, and then it's just an easy open three because I'm just going 100 miles an hour into the paint, and like I'm an elite finisher. And that's not saying that Alec Burks is like the most elite finisher, but what type of passes were they? I want to know. But point guard, Jalen Brunson. It's been reported that the Knicks, that's the top free agent priority for the New York Knicks. He will be a restricted free agent from the Dallas Mavericks. That's why there's been a lot of talks that you'd have to do a sign and trade probably with the Mavs because they're probably going to give an offer sheet. Although they're probably prepared not to retain Brunson because one, they did bring in Spencer Dinwiddie, who has 2 more years on his contract. You also just signed Finney Smith. They extended him during the trade deadline. Their cap is in hell for the Dallas Mavericks. So it makes sense why Brunson would probably be on the go. But how do you guys, I mean, I know I said at the beginning, like we all like Brunson, but CK, I'm going to start off with you again. What are your thoughts on Brunson, man? Do you think what do you think of Jalen Brunson? And do you think he would not necessarily would he solve some Knicks problems that we have at the point guard position? What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
Are you giving him the bag, bro? Are you giving him the bag?
I'm throwing it all at him. Man.
What's the money? What's the money?
Oh boy. Don't put me on the spot with the money because look, I'm so cheap, bro. I'm like, look, the last person I was okay throwing the bag at is wearing a Bulls jersey. Other than that, I'm like, man, that's too much money. But to answer the next question though, Jalen, I think he fits all of the needs. Not only is he a point guard, but he's a guy that's gonna go and get a bucket. We need that at that position, and he also can control offense. Like he is a leader at that position, and that's the reason why I feel like the Mavericks were trying to hold on to him so tightly for as long as they had him because he was a 2nd round pick that they were able to get in a steal like that. So. Yeah, I don't understand the dislike for him. Yeah, he had that one bad game against us, but why don't we give us some credit instead of going after Jalen Brunson? Like, what are we talking about right now? Good. We want them to have bad games against us. What are we actually talking about? But I just feel like he genuinely just gives us everything we need as far as the aggression defensively. Like I said, the vision, the leadership at the point guard. Like, I don't understand why anybody would not want him and why he shouldn't be the number 1 priority for us in this very, very empty offseason that we have for us. So, yeah, I would love to get him. I still would love to also, while getting him, draft a guard. I know there's not many. I'm not saying like use that first pick if we end up keeping it and not giving it to the Jazz. But I feel like there are some other guys that could, also be good for us to draft. So, yeah, I would love love to have Jalen Brunson. Not quite as much love as that same Bulls player I mentioned from last season, but it would definitely be a good saving grace that after missing out last year and then end up getting Jalen Brunson this year. I think it'd be great. Now the amount, look, man, I don't know. We could throw a good amount at him for sure. And but golly, I think that he's going to be asking for a lot of money, and then that comes into Mitchell Robinson conversation because what's going to be left, So I don't know.
So are you okay sacrificing Mitch for Jalen?
Gosh, this is gonna be a loaded answer, but yeah, I think I'm okay with it because I feel like we can get other options that can help us at the position. But we're gonna miss Mitchell Robinson, man, because I feel like he's finally coming to his own. The injuries are always the problem with Mitchell Robinson, right? But when he's healthy, God, he's nice. He's nice, especially what he's turning into these last few weeks. But yeah, he's 25, 26. Jalen Brunson, how old is Jalen Brunson? 25.
Jalen Brunson is 25.
Oh man, that's so hard. But yeah, I was sending Mitch Robinson to the moon for LaMelo Ball in 2020. So yeah, I'll stick to it. I'll double down.
Sims high, baby.
Yeah.
I'm fine with moving Mitch for Brunson because I think Mitch, we haven't seen what he is fully as a center. And me, like I've said it on this pod a couple of times, I look at the center position as like a running back, like in the NFL. You can get a lot of them and you can get them for cheap. And like if they're like a top end like unique center like a Nikola Jokic, that's one thing, but or even a Joel Embiid.
For Jokic.
Yeah, like don't even start. Oh my goodness, yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Love you, RJ. Have fun in Denver.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
I say that very hard. That's hard to say. I'm sorry, that hurts.
Wearing his Barrett shirt.
Yeah, I know it hurts, but I mean it's Jokic, But sorry, go ahead, Alex. My bad.
No, it's all good. But no, like if we're talking about like centers like that, sure, but I don't see Mitch being that type of center. I look at him as if he all pans out well, like another Robert Williams, someone in that sphere of like center,
Yeah.
But the position that we desperately need and that any team needs to be successful, we would see teams who have top tier wings, right? Like just look at the Celtics, look at the Clippers, like they get through with wing play, and that shows you how important wing play is. Like you're not going to win a championship just with a point guard, okay? Unless, exactly. Like when they had Kawhi, Bucks, you need someone who's going to like a wing or big that's just so dominant, that can get it done. And I don't want to hear Steph Curry because Steph Curry is an anomaly. That is like one of the best shooters we've ever seen in like the league. That I don't want to hear Steph Curry.
You said one of the best shooters? You better take that one of out.
I mean, he is the greatest shooter. You're right. He is the greatest shooter. He is the greatest shooter. You're right. He is the greatest shooter. I'm sorry, man. That's just my legal brain. My legal brain's always used to having caveats in it. So I have to say, right. Not this, not that, not this, not that. But yes, he is the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He even got that record on our goddamn home court and had a whole parade. Who would have thought?
On is like or TNT, like, come on, man. Oh my god. Anyway,
he did that right in front of my eyes.
Oh no, you had to see it.
Yeah,
damn. You all right?
Yeah, dude. Nothing. I think that nothing could top the Trae Young right now in front of my eyes. I think that's still the one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can top it right now.
Yeah, but that's even a good example.
That shot lives in my head rent free. I'm telling you right now.
But that's even a good example that you mentioned Trae Young. Look how hard the Hawks are struggling right now with, a top point guard and just decent wing play. They don't even have like elite wings or even a top tier wing necessarily on that team. Or if they're there, they haven't fully developed yet to be that type of guy. But that just shows you how
struggle harder, Alex.
Yeah, I know.
You need to struggle harder.
I hear you. But no. I just look at the point guard position, and we already have one good wing in RJ Barrett. If Cam Reddish gets his thing together, that's another good wing that we potentially have. If we get a point guard in here that can just organize everybody, and that's why I look at Jalen Brunson. It's someone just to steady the ship, okay? Someone to steady the damn ship. And by me saying like having the point guard, like Trae Young's a top end point guard, and they're not winning. So we don't necessarily need the greatest point guard, but we just need a point guard who can just get everybody else
Competent point guard.
a competent point guard,
A point guard.
a point guard, someone who can just run the damn show at above average level. Then we'll be set, and that's kind of why I want Jalen Brunson. He's the he's the guy out there right now. And you look at his stats, like, sure, he's averaging 16 points. He's averaging over 5 assists. He's averaging close to 4 rebounds. He's shooting 50% from the field, which is phenomenal for a point guard. For a guy who's a 6-footer, like he's 6'1", but like to average 50% from the field,
He's listed
that's very
6'1".
freaking, He's 6'1".
He's not 6'1".
I know he's not 6'1", but
he's like 5'11", bro. He is
hey, man.
not 6'1", dude.
Don't matter. And he's shooting 38% from 3. I don't know, man. 80% from the free throw line. We just need free throw shooters as well. I'm all in on Jalen Brunson. I think for him, if you pay him 85, I know he's asking for like 90. I think 85 is like that solid spot for him.
I'm okay with that.
We'd have to give him. We'd have to throw in someone on the Mitch trade. Mitch not getting that.
I know he's not getting that. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you do it, that's where someone
we have to literally add people to that trade. Wow.
I just don't want Mitch in a Mavericks jersey, bro.
I think he's gonna go there regardless, to be honest.
You think so?
Yeah.
My heart can't handle that, man.
Why not, dude?
Just go. Good. Just go. That's but I don't want to cheer for that
KP's not
team.
there anymore, bro. KP's not there anymore.
Still
now it's the Wizards, bro. Just hate the Wizards.
The Wizards. Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, like I think that's gonna. Look, if the Mavs are interested, if the Knicks are interested in Brunson, Mavs are interested in Mitch, I feel like that's just the way to go. Just get it done, and you can put Mitch on the books. Be like, all right, here's the contract. They can't even freaking sign him. The books are just so bad; they'd be over the cap. So just why don't you both work it all out? And look, if Mitch goes down to, Texas, he's closer to Louisiana.
I have a question. What are you more worried about? I guess we can leave it on this. Are you more worried about Mitch leaving here, signing with another team, and being really good? Or are you more worried about us re-signing him and him getting injured?
Second one. B.
Exactly. Yeah. Me too. That's why I'm not going to be that upset. Like at the end of the day, I'm not going to be that upset.
Very well put.
I smell option B. I smell it.
100%.
Because we don't.
John's walking outside, standing out, and he's like, "Ooh,
oh no, we shouldn't pay him."
It's coming. Dude, he hasn't been healthy for a long period of time in a long time, and it's his contract year. He's playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but like you're gonna give him a lot of money, and he's pissed off, and he has the agent stuff. Like he's gonna get a lot of money. He's gonna get more than the extension, if he hits the open market. So
yeah, and there's not to say like we don't like Mitch. I like Mitch. Like ideally, you have both of them, but I feel like that's not gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be Mitch involved with maybe an Alec Burks if you add to that deal.
Yeah.
What an off season if we come out with Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. Isn't that would be a dream, bro?
Well, we're not getting Donovan. I'm not even thinking Donovan.
Yeah, I don't think Donovan might not be off season. It might be like
if that playoff scenario happens, I think it might be a lot sooner than you think.
It depends on the Jazz playoffs. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
If the Jazz,
I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm just saying like.
No, I agree.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I'm gonna see him on Sunday, and he's gonna light us up. So I feel you. We're all going to be talking about that. He's going to be the topic. He's going to listen, man. If the one thing we know is the New York Post and the New York Daily News, they are ready to go. Whenever a superstar is coming, especially when it's a Western Conference team, dude, they're ready. It's a Western Conference team. They have it circled on the calendar. They come once a year. The article's going to drop. Whether it's going to come on Saturday. We play the Wizards on Friday.
It's going to drop. Steve Popper dropped it.
No, but another one. We're going to have a nice one. Trust me, a nice one on Saturday. It's going to tell us all about how Leon
Don't throw shade to Steve Popper like that, man. Come on.
Just watch. It happens every time a Western. That's the last Western Conference team to visit us. This is it. It's the last big article of the year and how we're going to get Donovan Mitchell in the offseason.
It won't be Popper. It'll be Berman.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pop already wrote the article. He already did that. He was like, and there's like, it's like an open secret that Donovan Mitchell wants to go back home. I'm like, Is
Yeah,
it an open
Berman's-
secret?
Yeah.
How open is that? What?
Berman's gonna write that we're all in on him. So if we don't get him, they'll be like, "Oh, look, the Knicks are all in. It didn't work."
No, yeah, it's just gonna be like one person. Like I love how it was like the Andre Drummond stuff. It was like, oh, the Knicks are really in on Andre Drummond. Then Ian Begley's like, there's like one voice,
One
that really
person.
is. One. Berman's
The
be
guy with
like,
the
and
laptop. The guy with the laptop likes Andre Drummond, guys. That's what Ian Begley really wanted to say.
That's what Julius got mad about. You still talking about him? Smacked it out of his hand.
Look at Andre Drummond, bro.
Oh shoot! Shout out to
Oh,
God
man,
laptop.
that's great. That's great. Well, let's dive into the last thing, man. Let's talk about this upcoming slate and get out of here.
W's.
Woo.
Nothing to talk about. W's.
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 We're just getting straight
man.
W's. That's what's
Well,
happening here.
Is KP playing on this horrific Wizards team?
I have no idea.
All
I mean,
right,
he's
doesn't
been
matter.
playing. Is it a back-to-back for them?
We're gonna kill the Washington Wizards on Friday. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
Yeah, they play today.
We're gonna kill them. Are
Okay.
they playing right now? Is NBA allowed to play during March Madness? Is that even allowed?
Oh, you're
Play
right.
tomorrow.
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. You're very right. They know not to compete. You're right.
Yeah, I don't
You're
even
right.
know.
So the
They
Wizards
might
are
be.
not playing tonight. They have off tonight. They lost. They are currently on a 5-game losing streak. They've lost to the Clippers, the
Uh-oh.
Lakers.
That scares me actually.
They-
Damn it.
They even lost to the Blazers, by the way, just to give you a heads up.
Perspective.
Need that CK.
Right.
The Warriors and the Nuggets. Now they got the Knicks this Friday at 7:30 p.m. I'm taking this one as a win.
Better be.
I think the Knicks are going to beat the Wizards. Just suck, man. Like,
Big game for Kuzma, but that's it. We win.
stop. That's another one, right?
It
That
is
another one
a
that-
game for Kuz.
Kuzma
Yo,
kill us. Yeah.
Shout out to FanDuel. I'm definitely gonna take a FanDuel little prop on Kuz with the
Yeah.
Knicks win. Yeah. I'll
Take
be with you.
take Kuz on the rebounds.
Yeah.
That's
Prize
true.
pick. Shout out to Prize Picks. I'll be on Kuzma. I'm telling you. I'm taking my money on Kuzma.
But yeah, I got the Knicks being the Wizards.
Same.
I know John's got wins. You got the Knicks being the Wizards too, CK.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So let's get into the actual game that's happening on Sunday. Knicks are facing the Utah Jazz, as John likes to put it.
I like that.
So
So I am taking this one as a big fat L.
Blowout.
Big fat L.
Blowout.
Oh,
You're calling a
Double
blowout,
digit-
CK?
I'm asking you.
No,
I'm
he's
asking you. I'm
asking
asking
you.
you. I'm
You're
asking
making
you.
it sound
Is it a
like-
blowout?
yeah.
You said big fat L, so does that
Yeah.
mean blowout?
Nah, not a blowout. It's not gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a not a complete blowout. It's gonna be we will lose by it will be a nice close game for 3 quarters, and then the wheels will fall off in the fourth. We'll clean up the end game to make it look nice, where it looks like we only lost by 10,
7,
but
yeah.
it'll probably be down by like 15, something like that, 15, 17.
Really hope not. That'll be a crappy Sunday night, bro.
Oh yeah, you gonna be there.
Yeah, that'll be a really crappy Sunday night. I'm bringing 25 people. I can't have that. I just can't have it.
By the way, CK, this is John's like second or third time organizing one of these like large events.
Oh man. Why did you choose?
He
I chose
chose.
this game. I
He
chose
chose.
this game.
I
chose
already
this game.
got
it,
it.
man.
Last time
insanity,
was the
man.
Hornets. And
Okay.
and then people were mad at me because
LaMelo
LaMelo
didn't play.
didn't play. And then we still lost by like 30. I was like, yo, there's nothing I can do, guys. It's the
Oh
Knicks,
man.
I brought my parents to that one too. They were like, "Oh, the Knicks." Like I was like, "Yeah, sorry." It's tough out here, man.
luck on that, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
tough out here, dude.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
yo, dude, we better be Donovan Mitchell. Come on, bro. What do we need? Austin Rivers? Come on, like we can beat them, bro. We are desperate for a win. We've been playing so well, especially in the last 5-6 games. I don't want to say since the All-Star break because there's a bunch of L's there, but we have been playing well, in my opinion.
We have
I think
been.
I think we're so
Just to
frustrated
get-
because we lost
Just-
winnable games.
just to let you know, the Knicks lost 113 to 104 to the Utah Jazz. If you do remember that game, it was
Yes.
Oh, I remember.
it was the same script that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. This has got to be a
CK
win, man.
CK, what about you? What are you feeling?
What am I feeling? PTSD. I'm feeling like this is gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be, we're gonna come out with a crazy start, because we understand the assignment. RJ Barrett's gonna have a nice fast start. Julius Randle's gonna be hitting threes. It's gonna be one of those games where we start out nice and good and looking great. But unfortunately, I think then the Jazz come back. We end up losing by like 12. I think it's gonna be one of those kind of games, and it's gonna be in the hands of Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. I mean, I totally see your points, guys. I mean, realistically, but I can't. And especially like if I'm
You're just putting the
consistent-
energy out there for the faith. I get you. It's okay.
You need to.
Exactly. But if I'm being like really realistic, if we beat the Wizards, lose to the Jazz, beat Atlanta and Charlotte back to back, and then lose to Miami, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like if we have to lose,
I see that though.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't want that. I'm not gonna say yes, but because I'm gonna be there, especially. So, but realistically, like if you give me a Washington win, Atlanta, Charlotte, Pistons win in between Miami, Utah loss, I'll take that, dude. I'll take the 4-2, beating the 3 people ahead of us. You know what I mean? I'll take that. That's what I'm looking for. That's my playoff push right now. What's your cat? Yeah, what's the Wally?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wally agrees. He's like, he's right, man. He's like, listen to him. It's going to happen. The Knicks are going to make the play.
We're gonna win games. We're gonna win games, son. Let's go.
That's exactly what he's saying. But yeah, I mean, we're going up to Charlotte, right? That's what we want to do. We want to cover up to Charlotte. With the slate.
I mean, it's up to like if anyone says lose to Atlanta and Charlotte, like I don't know what to tell you. Like then team tank, team lottery percentages because you really like 14.8% over 12.5%, like whatever. Like I can't really talk to people who want to lose those 2 games. So
yeah,
like that's really how I feel about Knicks, the Knicks fan base. Honestly, the last week or so.
Yeah, it's fun feeding the machine though. It's really fun feeding them because they get so excited and so riled up about that. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I feel like just because the Hornets right now, they feel like they're clicking. I don't know if you guys have been watching any of the Hornets games, but yeah, LaMelo Ball cut off the hair, and then all of a sudden he's looking like a established like point guard. Not saying he hasn't been. It's just like they've been clicking really well. I don't know. Isaiah Thomas has been a nice little ad for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a tough out. I think it's gonna be really tough. I don't know why, but to me it feels like it depends on that Jazz game. Like, is it whether it's a win or a loss? Like if it's one of those a close loss or a close win, like I feel like we go into that energy knowing that to John's point we're right there. There's a chance for that play in that they're gonna play hungry against a already hungry Hornets team is trying to keep the spot. But you know what? I'm gonna lean towards because it's it's one of the teams that we have to beat. I'm gonna lean towards us going. I know we're not mentioning them, but I think we're gonna win those back-to-back wins with the Hornets and the Hawks.
We have to.
I think we'll end up coming out and winning that one. It'll be a fun game. I think it's gonna be a fun game, but I think we're gonna win that one.
I think we're gonna
3-1. 3-1.
I think we're gonna win.
3-1.
I got the win against Washington, lost to Utah. I feel like it's gonna be a 1-1, but since they're back-to-back. Because what CK said that Charlotte's like on a streak, they're clicking right now. Like they're on a hot streak.
They look good.
Yeah, Atlanta is struggling. I could see us beating Atlanta. We usually have Atlanta's number, so I could see us beating Atlanta.
Yeah,
Charlotte's a hard one to actually say. We're going down to Charlotte and beating them in Charlotte while they're feeling hot. It's hard. I mean, possible,
Tuesday?
but
Wednesday, Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, Wednesday, back to back.
Yeah.
So Wednesday would be the Charlotte game.
How much are flights to Charlotte?
I mean, tickets are $7 if you want to go watch a game down there.
I know.
Bring back LaMelo if you can, bro.
Yeah, if you can, please do so.
Let's see what goes on. If we start winning some games, I'll think about it.
Yeah, no, I think it easily could be a 1-1 back-to-back. I don't know. I have a gut feeling. I feel like we'll play pretty hard for that one, knowing the implications. I think the Knicks love to overachieve at the end of seasons. You know what I mean? So I feel like that could be one that we can get a back-to-back on.
Yeah, it depends on who's playing. If like we got Grimes and the young guys really clicking, which it seems like they are really clicking right now. I could see.
I love that second unit, man.
Coming back, baby. Grimes coming back. Let's go.
That lineup of Deuce, IQ, RJ,
And RJ galvanizing the troops. Yo, how
yeah. Oh
not
my
get
gosh,
hyped?
we've seen that for back-to-back games. I'm like, yo, that is fun. That is a fun lineup to watch, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Give me 2-2 out of those 4 games. So I got us being Washington, losing to Utah, being Atlanta, being losing to Charlotte. John, you got 3-1. You got us being Washington, losing to Utah, beating Atlanta. Oh, you got
wins, bro. All wins.
You're going
he's
4-0.
4-0. I was gonna say
We
I
ain't
don't think
losing.
I thought you said
bro.
CK's 3.
I'm
CK's
3-1.
You're 3-1. Okay.
Yeah.
John's
We ain't
4-0.
losing, son.
Nah,
We
he
ain't
said from the
4-0.
jump. He's
John's
4-0.
4-0.
I
My
had
apologies.
Portland. Let's get some wins, bro. I need it.
Good
I need
times
it in my
roll.
life.
My apologies. CK's going 3-1.
Yeah, I got 3-1.
Being Washington, losing to the Jazz, being Atlanta, being Charlotte. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Well, it's a good place to end. CK, my man, thank you for coming through as always, bro. Please let our listeners know where they can find you. If they don't know where to find you, that's just wild. If they listen to us and they don't know about
Stop. No, I always, I appreciate the invite. When you sent me the message, I was excited because I love chopping up with you guys. It was a lot of fun last time, and I'm glad to do it again today. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can find me everywhere, CK2K. If you guys also like Gaming Officers live stream, and from time to time upload videos on a channel called CK, you can find it on CK2K. If you care enough, it's there. But mainly everything CK2K. But more importantly, you guys subscribe right here because I know y'all got the YouTube channel. So I'm talking to the people that are watching this thing visually. Make sure you go over there, hit that subscribe button. And obviously, if you listen to audio, make sure you follow and subscribe and whatever all the terms are for podcasts for all their pods because it's great stuff.
We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. And because CK did it, I'm not even going to do the outro. We're going to leave it on that. That was just phenomenal. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love.
Shout out to New Mexico upsetting UConn, dude. Both 5 seeds down today on the first day.
I think I chose New Mexico. Hold on, let me check.
Yo.
Yeah, the only one that messed me up, and you guys were talking about it, was the Iowa one. I actually went with
all right.
Michigan.
So you went with Michigan winning it all?
I did.
Michigan winning it all? Okay.
No. I'm talking about in that game.
Okay.
Yes. Or
who you got winning it all?
I hate doing it, but I'm going with Gonzaga. I'm just gonna stick to the favorite. I'm
okay. John, who you got?
I got Zona versus the Zags though. Because Chet Holmgren's the man.
I went wild. I got Wisconsin.
Oh,
I mean, I hope they win the first game, bro.
Yeah. Well, I haven't going to the Final Four, but I had them losing to Tennessee. That's my matchup. Tennessee. Crazy, right? A little crazy with it.
I like it. So yeah, let's go Vermont, baby. They just got to be UConn.
Oh, no,
Vermont, baby. Let's go.
No.